Where does the word politician come from? Talked about this before, and you have POL on the front, just like poll. They try and hide it, make it pronounce it like Paul, politician, but it's a poll, and there's a reason for that. It's like pole position, where you get the word police from. You notice these things all start with POL. Politician, or even to take a poll. Like if you're a politician, sometimes you'll ask a company to take a poll to see what the public is thinking. Sort of a mystic way of seeing what other people are wondering or pondering about the politician. But regardless, always pay attention when you see that POL to start, like politics, politician, taking a poll, poll position, police. POL is always out the front. And this is because they used to gather their information around a poll. So that's what an obelisk sort of is. An obelisk, if you don't know what an obelisk is, look it up and you'll see that it's just a big pole standing stationary in the middle of usually a big courtyard, because you'll need, in order to use the pole for what it's for, you're going to need a bigger courtyard, a bigger surrounding area, because that's how they used to tell when the winter was coming, when the fall was coming, when the summer was coming. You would put the pole in a stationary position, so the pole is the non-variable. It does not vary. It stays exactly where it is. And then you take another position in reference to the pole, and you look at a star, or you look at the sun, or you look at the moon in relation to the pole, and then you're able to track cycles and even derive mathematical calculations. So originally, the poll or the politician was the guy, usually a guy, who had all this knowledge about what was going to happen before it happened. And if you look around the world, there's lots of obelisks, and there's a reason for that. And there's lots of things like Stonehenge, which again are poles that used to watch the stars in reference to Stonehenge. There's lots of stone monuments like on the island of Malta, and you will see that they were watching the stars so long there, and in reference to one very particular star, which most people around the world in the ancient times would keep their eye on for a very particular reason. But they were watching the stars in reference to the stone monuments for so long, they had to build 2 or 3 separate observatories so that they could keep up with what's called the precession of the equinox. So these things are very important to understand. Well, a politician used to be sort of a priest who would have insider knowledge about when to plant and when to harvest and when's a storm coming and when's a comet coming. Because time, they found out from watching the stars, is more like a circle. It's not linear, it's more circular. So if you can see patterns in the stars, you can start declaring those patterns and forewarning and planning things in advance. So just so that you know, that's what a politician used to do, is watch the heavens, get the insider information according to the stars, and then pass that down to the village or the tribe in order so that everybody would have the information they need to make very important decisions for the survival of the tribe. So today, we have politicians, and some of the higher up ones, still focus on following the stars, but they've kind of bypassed that now they don't predict what's coming and get ready for it. They make what's coming. And that's a big problem, is that they've bypassed the stars and reading of the cosmos. And they've gone right down to business, where they steal our money and make things happen with our own energy, and then profit even more from arranging certain things to happen inside our society. So we've had the ancient helper role of politician hijacked by what I believe are generational psychopaths. And if you go to the documentary Trance, and no, you will not find that on YouTube, you will find that on Odyssey and BitChute, Trance, the Kathy O'Brien story, she will recount a story for you about the human genome can become sort of set in its ways if you have 3 generations in a row consecutively regarding anything neurologically, anything. So if you were to breed psychopath with psychopath, and if you understand the Egyptians used to breed with each other, the royalty and the British royals do the same thing, inbreed with each other. And if you were to inbreed psychopath on psychopath for 3 generations, you would get a permanent altering of the DNA towards psychopathic tendencies. And if you haven't noticed who exactly is running things, what kind of psychological profiles they have, it sort of fits the bill. So look at your words. There's magic in your words. As Max Egan just let out a video, what we really need is net zero politicians, because they're not doing their job. They're not protecting the tribe. They're not sharing information that would benefit the tribe. They're actually destroying the tribe, as a farmer, a beef farmer, would destroy their cattle in order to generate profit. There is profit in death. If you go to the grocery store, everything you buy, profit's only realized when the item is killed or taken from the ground or taken from up by the root. If you need more interesting information like this, feel free to email me personally and get on my private email list. This is Jason Christoff signing off. Thank you for listening.